Hello, America. Welcome to Friday. I've got a few things to talk to you about here as we gather together for a few minutes. I want to talk to you about differences of opinion. I think Americans have lost the ability to say, I disagree with you wholeheartedly, but I will fight to the death for your right to say it. I don't ever hear that anymore. Nobody feels that way anymore. I do. I hope you do. But everything is on a side, and I've gotten a lot of I've gotten positive and negative email this week, and I wanted to talk to you about it because neither side is wrong. Neither side is wrong. Let me use Ukraine as an example. People right now, all throughout the Twitter sphere and Facebook and everything else, we're all starting to get into arguments about who's right, who's wrong. Putin's a bad guy. No, Putin's not, whatever. We have to do a couple of things. We have to stop, and this is really hard for me to even do. If the New York Times or CNN says something, I immediately am like, nope, probably the opposite. That's not healthy and that's not good. And my initial knee-jerk is, but it can't be left there. It has to be, Well, let me check. Just because people have burned us so many times doesn't mean it's always untrue. I mean, here's the thing. I just stopped watching CNN. I don't watch CNN. I don't read stuff from CNN. It's not important to me because they're not trustworthy. But if I am watching them, if I am letting them in to show me anything that they, are reporting, I should give the opportunity to at least check to make sure it's wrong. Just because somebody is on the other side, we should not just do the opposite of what they do. Does this make sense? Right now, if you are for Vladimir Putin, no, if you're against the war in Ukraine, that means, in today's world, you are for Vladimir Putin. No, I don't think we should be sending arms over to Ukraine. I think we've sent enough now. But that doesn't mean that I'm for Vladimir Putin. And it also, if the situation is reversed, it also doesn't mean that I don't think Vladimir Putin is a good guy, or I don't think he's evil. I think the guy is a bloodthirsty killer, period. I think the same thing on cleanliness of Ukraine. I think it is a dirty cesspool of government corruption. I think Washington is a dirty cesspool of corruption. And here's who I support, and this is the third option. Are you for the war in Ukraine? If you are, you're either a warmonger or you don't understand Vladimir Putin. You're probably with Vladimir Putin. No, If you take the opposite position, you're siding with Biden, or you just want wars. No, there are some other options here. People see how this could be another Adolf Hitler, and we did nothing with Poland, and it was too late, and then look what happened when we finally all got into it. So there are people who honestly believe that is the reason why we have to be over there, and we have to stop him where he is. And then there's others like me who think I can't trust anybody. I don't trust the media and tell me what's really going on. I don't trust the Biden administration. They made way too much money in Ukraine, and now we're paying for their benefits, for their government benefits. Really? We can't afford Social Security, but we're paying for that. Where's that money going? Where is that money going? And I also think the people at the WEF and all over the world want to restructure not only everybody's debt, but capitalism and everything else. So I don't trust them. I don't trust Moscow, and I don't trust Ukraine. I do, however, support the people of Russia, the people of Ukraine, and the people here in America. If we can just separate ourselves from the politics for enough of a time to where we can have real, sometimes heated arguments on it, but not immediately demonize one another, I think that's really, really critical. We can't be knee-jerk. We're headed into a primary that, oh my gosh, it's going to be bloody. It is going to be bloody. We can't do so much damage to each other and distrust one another, so much so we can't come back together in the end, or we lose. My feeling is I'll find a candidate I feel I can vote for. I'll do everything I can to bring you the news, but my personal life is my personal life. Who I choose is who I choose. I trust the American people to make the decision, so I'll give you all of the information that I can find. I'm not sure I'm going to give you my direct opinion very heavily. I'll just, say, I think this or this, and then leave it alone. My job is not to convince you of anything. My job is to show you the information that you know on all of the candidates and all of the positions, for instance, on war. We're facing a war. I would like to be talked out of my position. I don't like saying I don't trust the United States. I don't like the feeling that we're rushing into World War III. I'd like to hear opposing opinions, and that's what we're doing next Wednesday. I want to put my opinions down. Then I want to talk to somebody who's absolutely for this war, and then people who are absolutely against it. And whether I change my mind or I change some of the pros and cons on my list will be up to me and up to you. But we have to start listening to each other and the full spectrum, because the ideas that are the places where these ideas are leading us are extraordinarily dangerous. And so we have to be able to have conversations. And, when I say they're leading us places, I want to show you something. Joe Rogan, Ben Shapiro. I want you to watch this audio, this clip. This is audio. And listen to their voices. These are just pictures, but listen to the what they're saying to one another. Listen to this.
I just think I would love to get ratatouille'd.
Ratatouille?
Like have a little guy up there.
Excuse me?
Making me cook delicious meals.
No, I understand. I've seen the film.
You wouldn't want that? A little guy pulling your hair, making you cook?
It's a ridiculous concept.
You're telling me you wouldn't want that?
I just don't know why you're bringing it up as if it's something that could actually happen.
You wouldn't want a little ratatouille guy up there doing whatever?
It's honestly insane that a rat would even be able to cook in the first place.
He doesn't have to be cooking.
In the movie, he's cooking.
Yeah, but in this scenario, though, he could do other stuff.
Yes, but you called it getting ratatouille'd. I mean, the movie is about cooking. Why call it getting ratatouille'd if the rat isn't even going to be making you cook? I don't need a rat to help me cook.
You're hung up on the cooking thing.
You were the one who referenced food.
Forget what I said.
You called it getting ratatouille'd, which is a reference to cooking in the first place.
Forget what I said. Ratatouille is just the frame of reference. Like, you can get ratatouille'd into doing other stuff.
It's just important to remember that words mean things.
Yeah, but I mean...
The word ratatouille has implications about cooking.
It's just easier to call it that. It's a ratatouille situation.
Words mean things.
Stop. If you don't know, you would watch this and you would say, what the hell are they talking about? And that is absolutely Ben Shapiro, right? And absolutely Joe Rogan. It's the way both of them speak and reason. It's all AI. I came to you 4 or 5 years ago, and I showed you the ability of AI to sound like someone famous. And it was a lot harder to do the voice than it is the image. And it was light years away when I showed it to you 4 or 5 years ago. That's not just a reproduction of their voice. It's my understanding that that's written by AI as well. It knows who they are and how they can argue. This, to me, sounded edited. I wouldn't have known that it was necessary. When I first saw it, I didn't know it was AI, and I thought to myself, somebody's just taken, you know, different phrases and put it in and then edited it, which takes forever to do. No, that took about probably, what, 5 seconds, 25 seconds to produce their voices going back and forth. That's why we have to start talking to each other and having reasonable conversations, because these things are coming right around the corner when you won't really know what's real and what isn't real. I talked to Donald Trump today. You can find it on the website, the broadcast from today, the podcast. But he said some pretty amazing things. He said this war is going to end in World War III. He said Joe Biden is on the take from China, and that is compromising us. He also, I asked him, I said, about the Nord Stream pipeline. I said, do you think there's a chance that we did that? And he said, oh, yeah. Makes sense. He said, now it may be Ukraine. Well, Ukraine doesn't have the capability of doing it. Or it could be, you know, a combination of some other countries, but it's not Russia. And if it is a combination of other countries, they would all be part of NATO. And let's just say it was Finland that did it. Finland wouldn't do it without our permission. So this is a real problem that we have to think about. Do we believe Seymour Hersh? I want to show you, this is from, I think, The Hill. Yeah, The Hill TV. Had Seymour Hersh on. He's a respected journalist. He's gotten it wrong a lot of times. But is he right this time? Watch this from Hill TV.
National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby, as I'm sure you're aware, has repeatedly denied the United States was involved in the explosions that damaged these pipelines. He told Fox News Sunday, quote, "It's a completely false story. There is no truth to it, not a shred of it. It is not true. The United States and no proxies of the United States had anything to do with that."
John Kirby's a nice guy. I used to work, John was in the Pentagon. When I was at the New Yorker after 9/11, I wrote a lot of stories that were heatedly denied by the White House when I was working for the New Yorker. This was in the days of Cheney and Bush. And I always liked John. He's a very good guy. And I did talk to him about this story long before I wrote it, let him know what I was doing. And he told, you know, I was off the record, so it doesn't matter. But he didn't say anything other than what he said publicly, but there was other stuff he talked about. And he'll be the first, if you asked him, if there were an operation like this, would the spokesman for the joint JC, I mean, the spokesman wouldn't know. Why would you tell him? Why would you tell the spokesman anything? Why would, even internally, would you talk about it? This is, I mean.
So you think he genuinely does not know, he's not lying there, he doesn't know?
No, he's not a liar. He's asked and he's told, no, nothing happened. I mean, I don't know if he's asked or not. I'm sure he has. But why would he be told?
You know what? Part of the problem here with this is I started listening to it, and then I realized we have the shot. It's like talking to Seymour Hersh if you were a midget lap dancer. It matters where you put your laptop, at least to me. Anyway, one last thing. Kamala Harris is a moron. I know that's not news to you, but she gets excited about too many things. And I have to tell you, I think I would jump out of a window if I had to spend much time with her. because I don't think I've seen anybody more fake. She's very scientific, though. She's got a new Venn diagram. Listen.
To address those health concerns, think of it then in the context of, like, I like to think about a lot of things in the context of a Venn diagram. I love Venn diagrams. Always ask, is there a Venn diagram for this? I'm telling you, it's fascinating when you do.
Do you know anybody who says, is there a Venn diagram for that? I'm fascinated by that. I love it. I get excited. And if I was just on a bus with a Venn diagram, it'd be heaven to me. Oh, my God. Let me tell you first, our sponsor, before we say goodnight, Relief Factor. You have to ask yourself, when's enough? You know? You're living with a giant pain anywhere other than they can help you with Relief Factor. Okay? I mean, maybe. I mean, some pain would be not caused by Kamala Harris or some of the things that are happening in Washington that would cause that pain up there. They can't help you with that. But they can help you with pain pretty much any place else. And it works through controlling your inflammation. Inflammation is something that is causing most of our pain. It causes most of our disease. If you can just reduce the inflammation in your body, you are living a better life, healthier life, and more of a pain-free life. So what will do it? Well, Advil doesn't work for me. Ibuprofen doesn't work for me. I've even had the hard stuff. I mean, yeah, I've had ibuprofen 800. I know. You can get addicted to that, or, I don't know, burn a hole in your stomach, whatever it is. But it never works for me. The 3-week quick start is what changed my mind on controlling inflammation and being able to get out of pain. Relief Factor has a 3-week quick start. I want you to try it if you're in pain. Try it for 3 weeks. Worked for me. If it works for you, order some more. 70% of the people who try it go on to order more. 800-4-RELIEF or go to relieffactor.com.